Hi, viewers at home. My dear students, I welcome you to today's Literature in English class. As you would have observed in our English language lessons, we have been having revision of the computer-based tests that we had the previous week. And today, we shall be revising or doing the corrections of the questions in the Literature in English computer-based test that we had the previous week. So today we have 20 questions to deal with. I will read the question and give you justification or provide convincing reasons for the choice of answers made in the question. So and the objective for the expression is that at the end of this exercise you will see your mistakes where you got your answers wrong and why they were wrong, and you'll be able to decide subsequently. When next you have to take another test, you'll be able to pick the correct answer. So it is expected that you will follow and pay attention closely so that you can update your knowledge and be a better student in the subject. So today, let's the kick the ball rolling with the first question. These are questions drawn from Shakespeare's Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So question 1. Shakespeare uses the metaphor of dash in this sonnet. What metaphor does he use? Look at the title of the poem is Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Summer. In first line of the poem, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Summer. Look at the first line in the third quatrain. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. So we can see that the word summer keeps recurring. Summer, summer, summer. Even in the last line of the first quatrain, and summer's leaves are too short a date. So the word summer features conspicuously in this poem. It is not talking about spring. It's not talking about fall. It's not just talking about just weather generally. It's talking about summer in particular. So it is obvious and very clear that Shakespeare uses the metaphor of summer. Option B is therefore the correct answer. The correct answer is option B. Let's quickly look at question 2 then. Question 2. What is the question like? Okay, the question says, what negative characteristic does Shakespeare observe about summer in this sonnet? Which negative characteristic does Shakespeare observe about summer in this sonnet? Negative characteristics? Are there negative characteristics? Of course, from the first two lines of the first quatrain, it says, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? When he asks rhetorically, that you are not comparable with summer's day because you are more lovely and more temperate than summer. Then what are those things that are lacking in summer? It says, then it begins to outline them. It says in the next line that summer can be too windy, rough winds to shake the darling balls of May, to shake the darling balls of May, or and summer's leaves are too short. Summer can be too short. And he says in the next line, and in the first line of the second quatrain, sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. The summer can be too hot, and often it is good complexion dimmed. It can even be cloudy, it will fall, and these are the things that he says about summer. And even he says, and every fear from fear sometimes declines. It rises and wanes. It's too short a date. So, which of these three characteristics is therefore correct? The days can be too short. That's correct. The days can be too cloudy. Oh, that is very, very correct. The days can be too hot. That is absolutely true. And then option D, all of the above. And I think that hits it right. All these are true about summer. So let's move quickly to question 3. Question 3. What is it about question 3? What is it about question 3? Shakespeare promises his love that her beauty will never dash. That her love will never dash. Oh, that is just filling in the gap with the correct word. Let's go to the first line in the third quatrain. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. I think that's it to say it. So the correct answer is option B. The eternal summer shall not fade. Question 4. Question 4. Shakespeare says in question 4. The question 4 is this. Shakespeare says his mistress will live on forever in his eternal lines. What are his eternal lines? The eternal lines is the poem. It's a poem. And he's saying that she will live on forever in his eternal lines. So what are the eternal lines? What is he saying? Is he saying that people will read about her in his poems? That she will die and go to heaven? She will fall out of line? People will know her beauty because of her beauty? Which of these 4 is the correct answer? And so it's obvious that what he's saying is that people will read about her in his poems. That's option A. Option A is what Shakespeare is referring to. Okay, and then question 5. What do we have in question 5? Let's quickly look at that. Question 5 says Shakespeare sonnet 18 compares a girl to dash. Of course, in the first line of the first portrait says, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So it's obvious that sonnet 18 compares a girl to summer's day. What option is that? Option B, of course. Option B, of course. Option B, option B, option B. Question 6 now. Question 6. Question 6. Let's look at this question very carefully. Which of the following is not a criteria for a sonnet? Sonnet has its own features, its own characteristics. And which of these 4 is not a characteristic of a sonnet? Let's look at them one after the other. 14 lines, yes. A poem is a poem of 14. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. It has specific sound devices. Is that correct? C. It has specific rhyme scheme. Yes, a sonnet has specific rhyme scheme. Particularly Shakespearean sonnet. A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, and G, G, the couplet. Specific rhythm. Specific rhythm. A sonnet have specific rhythm. Shakespearean sonnet. Yes, it has. Iambic pentameter. On stress, stress. On stress, stress. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? That's it. So the odd one out there, which is not a constant feature of a sonnet, is specific sound devices. What are the sound devices we have in poetry? Alliteration, assonance, onomatopoeia, and the likes. And it is not compulsory that a sonnet must have any of those sound devices. So the correct answer is option B. Okay, option B. Let's move to question 7 and let's see what we have there. What is the metaphor in sonnet 18? What is the metaphor in sonnet 18? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So what is he saying? I think that's rather too obvious. Is Shakespeare comparing himself to his beloved? Of course not. She's even more lovely and more temperate than summer's day. So Shakespeare does not feel come to it. Comparing his beloved to a summer's day. That's it. It is not C, it is not D. It is absolutely comparing his beloved to a summer's day. And of course, she surpasses summer's day. So let's look at question 8. Question 8. Question 8 says, what poetic device is used in the following line of sonnet 18? Let's look at it. What poetic device is used in the following line of sonnet 18? Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in its shade. Death shall not brag, even though you wander in its shade, in the shadow of death. Death bragging, that is boasting. To be bragging is boasting. How does death look like? I think death is inanimate. Of course, yes. So how come it could brag? So what device is that? Could that be a metaphor? Hyperbole? Alliteration? Personification? When an inanimate thing is made to act as though it's We're human. What poetic device is that? Did you say metaphor? No, it is personification. So the correct answer is B. It's personification. The correct answer is B. So let's look at question 9 now. Question 9. Question 9. Question 9. Let me read. In sonnet 18, the eye of heaven refers to the dash. Eye of heaven. Does heaven have eyes? Okay. Okay, if you must think of eye of heaven, okay, the moon is there, the stars, and the sun. But which of them? Which of them? And let's look at the first line of the second quatrain. It says, "Sometime too hot, the eye of heaven shines, and often it is gold complexion tinged." Which eye of heaven can shine so much, and which of them has golden complexion? Did you say the sun? You are very correct. It is the sun. So the eye of heaven in this context, in these lines, in this poem, is the sun. Option C. I hope that is what you picked in the CBT. If you pick that, that's a plus for you. You have an imaginative mind. Okay, question 10 now. Question 10. In question 10, we have, what proof does the speaker offer for his assertion on sonnet 18 that his friend's eternal summer shall not fade? What proof that you will not die? Your eternal summer will not fade. Look at the last couplet. The couplet in the poem. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee, and this gives life to thee, and this gives life to thee. So what is he saying about what the poem will say? You will know that the eternal summer of the lover shall not fade. He is saying that the poem or the sonnet will immortalize that beautiful lady or that friend of his. It will immortalize the person. You must have seen statues of legends, people, prominent people that have passed away, that are put at junctions, roundabouts. Yes, that is, they have been immortalized. When they have people who have been whose name, when monuments, national monuments like stadia, hospitals, streets have been named after them, they have been immortalized. Some of them we never knew them. Some of them, when you hear of Obafemi Awolowo University, some of us never knew Obafemi Awolowo, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He died many years ago, but he has been immortalized. So that's what Shakespeare is saying. That this sonnet will immortalize his friend, that his eternal summer shall not fade. That's what he means there in question 11 now. Question 11. Because we don't have much time on our hands. In question 11, these are questions drawn from Sir Alfred Lord Tennyson's Crossing the Bar. Crossing the Bar. Look at the question. Question 11 says, the notion of crossing the bar is a metaphor for dash in that poem. It's what? Crossing the bar. It's a metaphor for what? What is he talking about? It says, sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no mourning of the bar when I put to the sea, when I cross the sea. So what's it going? Sea to where? Crossing from here to the other side is a metaphor for dying. Yes, crossing the bar is a metaphor for dying or for death. As going to the great beyond. It's not about praying to God. It's not becoming by a metaphor of becoming aged. It's not even seafaring that I want to go into this. No, it is practically about dying. Yes, so it's about dying, leaving the terrestrial for the yonder, from living here for the hereafter. Okay, let's move to the next question, and that is question 12. Question 12. Question 12. What does question 12 say? Question 12 says, what is the moral lesson of crossing the bar? Moral lesson, that is one of the themes. Talking about moral lesson, the themes, what we can deduce, what we can learn from that poem. what can we learn? Let's look at strategic parts of the poem. Let's look at the third line of stanza 1. I may there be no money of the bar when I put to the sea. Let's look at line 3 of the third stanza 2. And may there be no sadness or farewell when I embark. What is the persona saying? What is he saying here? Is he saying that death is imminent in option A? No. Is he saying that everyone needs to embark on sea voyage before death? I doubt if that is what it means. That is not what it means, obviously. Okay, journey by sea at night is peaceful. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is actually what is in D. We should not fear or mourn during death. This is more of an elegy. This one is an elegy. So there's no time for mourning. There's no, you don't mourn. You face death squarely and courageously. And this year, the same as a sunset and evening star. And one clear call for me. So we should not bother when death comes knocking. Question 13. Question 13. Question 13 says, who is the pilot in Tennyson's Crossing the Bar? Pilot. I think pilots fly aeroplane. But it's not that in this context. Let's come to the last stanza. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far. I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. When I have died, I hope to see my pilot. Pilot? Meeting the pilot on the other side. Since it is crossing to the other side, to the year after, of course, that is, we must be talking about his creator, God. It's not talking about the captain of the ship. It's not talking about the leader of the crew on the ship. It's not even talking about Tennyson's personal chauffeur. It's talking about meeting with God. And one day, everyone will meet with his God. Question 14. Question 14 says, how does Tennyson see death as homecoming in Crossing the Bar? How does Tennyson see death as homecoming? Oh, yeah, that question is very interesting. Okay, Tennyson seeing death as homecoming, going home, and not as departing. Okay, and not as departing, Generally, the whole poem sees journey in death as a journey back to where one comes from. It's not a trip, a fantasy trip. He does not perceive that as fun experience, even though he sees he takes it with equanimity, with calmness. But he sees death as a return rather than a departure. It's not departure when you say the soul has departed. No, the soul has gone back home. Not departing, not living. When you depart, people will mourn, people will cry. When you are going back home, people are saying, hey, you are going back home. They will wave back to you that you are going back home. That's what they say. So he sees death as a return rather than a departure. Okay. Yeah. Now the next question. Can I move on? Okay. Question 16 now. 15 now. Question 15. That says, what is the poet's attitude to death in Crossing the Bar? Oh, he has a very calm attitude. He's even expectant. He said, sunset and evening star are one clear call for me. How can somebody be so expectant, so calm, so sure that, oh, death is coming? One clear call for me. It's after the twilight and evening bell, and after that, the dark. And he says, I may there be no sadness or fear when I embark. Somebody so sure, somebody so calm, somebody so confident that death is here, death is coming, I'm going to die. B. So the correct answer is option B. He has a very calm and expectant attitude towards death. Question 16, which is the last from Crossing the Bar. Sunset and twilight are symbols for what? Sunset. Old age or dying time. Time of worship when night bell goes. Time to play under the evening star. Time to gather for storytelling. What do those time of what you see that sunset and twilight represents. They represent old age or dying time. When somebody's sun sets, it means they are dying or they are already at the old age. When somebody is at the twilight of their time on earth, it means they are about to die. So that's what they represent. So the next set of questions, for 3 of them or so, are from Frank Ogodo's Harvest of Corruption. So let's look at them. Question 17. Yeah, look at this. There's a quotation here. Question 17. Trust me, my duty is to convince her to play ball with him, and then the usual commission keeps rolling in. Sure you get? Who is that lady that does not have respect for law? That is so saucy, immoral, irresponsible, and a flirt. Who is that person in that play? Could that be Alo? You know, Alo used to be a good girl in the university. His desperation is only desperation that made her to fall. Could that be Ogeyi? Ogeyi remains a responsible lady all through the play. Justice Odili, though corrupt, but he's not even, he's even a judge. This is of course Ochole, the notorious Ochole, the one who, when in the university, makes a lecturer to be sacked because he leaks question to her. That's very Ochole. Yes, it's Ochole. The correct answer is D. Question 18 now. The next question. We are gradually coasting home. We are gradually rounding off. Who impregnated Aloho? Who impregnated Aloho? That's the question. There's only one particular man in the life of Aloho. The man who employed or employs her. And who is that man? It is not just Justice Odili. It is not even the Commissioner of Police. Even though the Commissioner of Police is corrupt, we do not have evidence that he sleeps around with girls young enough to be his daughter. Justice Odili, Inspector Inokua, a very upright man who will do anything to nab any corrupt person. So who are we talking about? Of course, it is Chief Aladu Ade Amaka. That's option B rather. The Minister of External Relations for Jakasa. Very corrupt man. Okay, and then question 19. It can be deduced from the play that dog pushing is lucrative. Yes, that is lucrative. That's cheap. Makes a lot of money. But is that the correct answer? No. That no crime will go unpunished. That the worthy also cry. Yes, Chibala Dodamaka cries when he is sentenced to jail 25 years. D, people will always embezzle public funds. What? From the options we have here, option B is the most valid. No crime will go unpunished because all the corrupt people down to ordinary clerk Ayo gets punished. Chief Alado Amaka gets 25 years in imprisonment. Ochole, even a law that does not feels the full wrath of the law, she dies mysteriously too in the course of giving birth to a daughter. So all of them, the Commissioner of Police, Chief Justice Orderly, they all have their own fear. They all have bumper affairs of punishment, of karma for the corruption they have sown. And let's quickly go to the last question. Question 20. The play portrays the judiciary as dash, unserious and lenient, consistent and just. No, it does not portray the the judiciary is concerned and just corrupt and weak. That sounds more like it. D, patronizing and self-righteous. No. The play portrays the judiciary as corrupt and very, very weak. Justice Orderly typifies that corruption, that weakness, when you are supposed to be firm. That is the arm of government that is supposed to interpret the law and enforce punishment on those who break the law. But through the likes of Justice Orderly, they are the ones abhorring crime, joining people to commit crime, and making money from abhorring criminals and encouraging them to more perpetrate and to steal public funds. So those are the questions, and I want to be very, very sure that you have learned a great deal today. You have learned your mistakes and you have seen why you were wrong in some cases and where you are very correct in the others. I want to believe that you will improve in your performance the next time we have another computer-based test or even a written test on literature in English. I thank you very much for your time today, and I want to believe that when I come your way again, we have another interesting session together. I remain your host, Adeyemo Oludare Sunday, Stregate College, Isharemo, Ogun State. Thank you, and God bless you. Keep learning and keep getting better. God bless you.